Bang! What up? Live from the GHS Sports Radio Studios and the GHS Sports Network. This is the Rant. We're coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia, presented by Guapaholic Entertainment and Anchor Collision Center on Warner Robins. Call Rick at 478-922-9090. You can contact us on Facebook. Facebook.com/James Lassiter, Facebook.com/Chris Payton. Hit us on Twitter at RadioGuy15, at Mr. Payton, at GHS Sports Radio. And as always, you can contact and email the show on Gmail at GHF Sports Radio. It is good to be here today. We have a ton to get into today. Got a lot of NFL, got a little NBA. So, let me start with Westbrook, because this happened while I'd already shut down the show for that evening, and so let me just start here with Russell Westbrook. First of all, it's a bad look. It is a very bad look. You cannot, in any way, shape, or form, I don't care what this person has said to you or anything, you cannot threaten a woman. You just can't. Again, it makes you look bad. And initially, she was not involved. This was, for those who haven't heard it, and if you haven't heard it, you must be hiding under a rock. But Russell Westbrook got into a exchange on the sideline in Utah again, and what was said, I'm not gonna say what he said word for word, but you can fill in the blank. Is swear to God, I will F you up, you and your wife, on everything I love. That's bad. And it was between him and a male fan initially, and he brought the wife into it. So my question is, why is Westbrook, first of all, why is it only happening in Utah? And second of all, why is he the only one losing his mind? I didn't find the comment to really even be racist at first, and I'll break down why I say at first in a minute. But to me, it came across more of a homosexual comment. The comment was, and I believe Russell Westbrook, I do. But the comment was, get on your knees like you're used to. It really seems to me like it's more homosexual comment than it was racist. But I'm not going to give the fan a pass, because fans go to games and do this hoping to get a reaction, and this fan got a reaction. He got his 2 or 3 days worth of fame. But I mean, come on. You're a professional athlete. This happens in every arena, every night. Whether it's baseball, basketball, football, soccer, golf, it happens everywhere. And you're the only one who seems to be losing his mind. Now, let me play a devil advocate for a second, and I will tell you what I mean by, at first I did not find this to be a racial comment. Let me just go ahead and give everybody a background on GHF. Founded by African American men. Right? So I had to reach out. I said, and I told Chris, I said, Chris, this does not seem like a racist comment, and please help me understand how it's racist. And the way it was broken down to me, because Chris, Darrell, and a lot of people that I consulted with in this comment were telling me that it can be taken racist to an African American male or female. Again, I'm a different demographic, so I didn't quite understand it. And this is how they broke it down to me. All right? So I'm going to play devil's advocate. Russell Westbrook is wired differently than you and I. He's from Long Beach, California. He doesn't play the disrespect card. He doesn't tolerate it. And he's not going to tolerate it. And in his mindset, he's got the hood mindset, which is fine. I mean, people make it out of the hood all the time. But in order to make it out of the hood, you have to learn to protect yourself and stand up for what you believe in, right? So, in 2019, anybody, it doesn't matter if you're man, woman, young, old, if you disrespect the wrong person, and let me use the phrase that Darrell and Chris used to me, because you can catch these hands regardless. That's their mindset. That is Westbrook's mindset. If you come at me wrong, you can catch these hands. And I don't disagree with him. Because let's be honest for a minute. It's 2019. Why do we still have racism at such a high rate in this country? It's not born. You're not born being a racist. This is something that is taught. So unless it is not taught in the child, then they will grow up to be racist. And I don't know, I'm mind blown by the amount of racism that still goes on in this country. Now, I grew up in Warner Robins. It's for those who don't know, it's a town. It's a growing town, but it's just south of Macon, and but every city has its hood. And I grew up with a guy named, well, I'm not going to drop his name, but he was an African American male, my age. And I used to go hang out with him at his house because it was easier for me to go to him than it was for him to come to me. So I used to go hang out with him, and I saw things firsthand, what racism really looks like in the hood. I mean, you have police patrols, you have city workers, you have county workers that come through that area, and you would not believe the things that go on in these hoods across America. I'm not just talking down here in the Southeast. I'm not just talking down in California. I'm talking about throughout the country. New York, Montana, it doesn't matter where you are. There's a hood in every city. And this stuff goes on everywhere. Everywhere. And just give you a quick story. I was hanging out with my friend, again, to leave his name out of it, and police rolled up, and they searched him. They didn't say a single word to me. It was a white cop. Didn't say a single word to me. But they searched him, questioned him, asked him what he was doing, a lot of things. And that wasn't the only time. But in my mind, I'm thinking, well, you remember those things you saw in school? It was like, look at the picture and pick out what doesn't belong. So, it may have been something, a picture of a park, and you had different items that either belonged or didn't belong, right? Well, that's how I felt here. Okay, this is a hood. It's 99% black, and I'm standing out front of someone's house, leaned up against a car, and the police roll up, don't say anything. Well, what item in this picture did not belong? And it was me. I was the item that did not belong. But they said nothing to me. They searched him, and this happened multiple times. So the racism in this country is absolutely out of control. Especially down in the South. Especially down in the South. So, for somebody like Russell Westbrook to react the way he did, I get it. It doesn't change the fact that it's a bad look. You are a professional athlete. You're a role model to kids. But I get it. At the end of the day, I get it. So I'm not going to sit here and give the fan a pass. And I'm not going to crush Russell Westbrook. So let me defend him. Everybody knows me. James doesn't like Russell Westbrook. He's looking for any reason to take shots at Russell Westbrook. Well, the world must be coming to an end because I'm defending Russell Westbrook right now. I am. I'm defending Russell Westbrook. So the opening rant, presented by Guapaholic Entertainment. You can contact Chris Payton, who is the CEO. You can contact Darrell Ellison, who is the president, on Twitter, Facebook, any form of social media. Reach out to them. And they will be willing to work with you on whatever ideas or plans you may have. So let me transition into this. So we got LeBron and the Lakers, who have completely screwed this entire thing up. They have completely screwed it up from day one. But it's done. It's over. Finito. Finished. The Lakers are what they are going to be for the foreseeable future. At least for the next 2 years. At least for the next 2 years. As long as LeBron's in a Laker jersey, they are what they are. They're not getting any big free agents. They have no pieces. They have no valuable pieces at all. None. The most valuable piece that they have is LeBron. They're not getting Anthony Davis. They're not getting Kevin Durant. Wait, you think he's going to go from Golden State to the Lakers? It's not happening. They're not going to get Kawhi. Reports came out. He don't want to go play with LeBron. Draymond, he's not going to L.A. Klay Thompson, he's not going to L.A. Kyrie, he'd rather play for somewhere else than play with LeBron. They have no valuable pieces to trade for anybody, and they're not getting any free agents. Brandon Ingram. And now, I'm not going to try to pronounce this medical condition, but he's got a serious medical issue. Nobody's going to trade for him. Lonzo Ball can't stay healthy to save his life. His dad won't shut up. Nobody wants Lonzo Ball. It is official. At the end of this season, he will have missed more games than he had played in the first 2 years. And he's shut it down now. There's absolute chaos surrounding the Lakers in that building. I mean, we got Rajon Rondo sitting with fans. They're limiting LeBron's minutes. Luke Walton is done. And yes, I know this for a fact. So no big free agents want anything to do with the toxic culture going on in that building. So what are they going to do? I mean, I guess trade LeBron. The trade talks are going to amp up for LeBron. But they can't trade LeBron. They can't. There's no way they can trade LeBron. Think about this for a minute. Where are they going to trade him to? Where are they going to trade him to? There's only one place. There's only one place that I can see the Lakers actually being able to trade LeBron to. One. Same building, different colored floor. Clippers. Think about this for a minute. Think about this now. LeBron is in LA. He's got his family in LA. He's not going to pack them up and move them to Charlotte. He's not going to pack them up and move them to, Houston, San Antonio. He's in LA. And if they try to trade him, he's just going to retire. He's just going to retire. The Lakers are stuck. They are who they are for the next foreseeable future as long as LeBron is under contract. Maybe he'll retire after the third year and won't play the fourth year. I doubt it. But they are who they are. It's done. They're over with. The Lakers are going to be about what they are this year. They may be a little bit better. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying that they won't get any free agents, but I just don't know who's going to come. Who's going to want to come that is going to make them better, to contend. I'm talking about contend. I don't want them to be a 7 or 8 seed. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about contend. You play the game to win championships. There's no one that's going to come to LA that I believe would come to LA that's going to want anything to do with this culture. It's just toxic. It's done. So, let's transition over to NFL for a minute. Because free agents. Free agency is hit. And one of the big moves that was made was Tuesday night. Odell Beckham was traded from the Giants to the Browns. And it was for a first and third round pick. Right? But so we know what the trade was. I don't want to talk about the trade. I want to talk about the long-term pros and cons for this trade. I believe the Browns will be better than the Giants next year. Well, they were better than the Giants this year. But Odell Beckham Jr. himself does not make them better. Think about this now. Last year, whenever Odell Beckham went down to his injury, right? The Giants played better without him than they did with him. So it's not Odell Beckham himself that makes them better. Because as I've went on my tangents over and over and over again, you can't build a winning culture around a wide receiver. Now, I do believe that the combination of Jarvis Landry, the combination of Odell Beckham Jr., the combination of Kareem Hunt and Baker Mayfield, they are better. Are they a playoff team? Maybe a wild card. Maybe a wild card, but they almost got into wild card this year. So, it's a combination of them. But here's my thing. The jury's still out. For me, the jury is still out on Baker Mayfield. The jury is still out on Baker Mayfield. I'm not sold on Baker Mayfield. And I know everybody loves to play for him and play with him because he's a fun person to be around. But when it comes to on-field production, I'm not sold on him yet. I'm just not. And here's why. You remember a couple of years ago, Dak Prescott took over for Tony Romo? And I believe they went 13-3, 12-4, whatever it was. And won the division. And then year 2 came around, where they had tougher schedule, because they had a first place schedule, and everybody had a year of tape on them. And I don't have their record in front of me, but they fell off the map in year 2. Well, until Baker Mayfield shows me that he can do well for multiple seasons moving forward. I'm just not sold on him yet. Because what is Baker Mayfield going to do in year 2? I mean, they won 1 game over 2 seasons. They weren't looking good with Baker Mayfield under center. It wasn't until they got rid of Hugh Jackson before they looked at least decent. But we're going to have a year of tape on Baker Mayfield. I believe he came in week 3 or 4 whenever Tyrod Taylor got hurt. So you're going to have almost a year of tape on him. They're going to be playing a 3rd place schedule. It's not a 1st place schedule. But it's going to be a tougher schedule. And they're going to be playing the Ravens, who Chris Payton swears up and down that the Ravens are Super Bowl material. I think he's fell and bumped his head. They're going to have to play the Steelers twice. And I think the Steelers are better without Le'Veon Bell and without Antonio Brown. I'm just not sold on them yet. And I don't know if Odell Beckham is good for Baker Mayfield. I mean, Odell Beckham throws his people under the bus, criticizes the coaching staff, talks about they don't throw the ball downfield, and I just don't know if there's enough balls for everybody. You're going to have Kareem Hunt, Chubb, OBJ, Landry. It's a lot of balls to go around. I just don't know if Odell Beckham Jr. is a healthy fit for somebody like Baker Mayfield. Especially for Baker Mayfield's got a chip on his shoulder. So he may stand up to OBJ. And if he does, what does that do in the locker room? I don't care about on-field production right now as much as I do what is this going to do to the franchise. And also, once this deal was made, the Browns' success expectations went up. This is one thing I said about Les Miles when he got fired from LSU. I said his success, he had so much success right off the top that whenever he was winning 11 games a year, going to SEC championship games, playing for national championships, winning national championships, and then whenever he was winning 10 games and 9 games a season, he was a victim of his own success. So could the Browns be a victim of their own expectations? That if they don't meet expectations, then what? What do you do then? So I'm not sure that Odell Beckham's a good fit for Cleveland. I'm not sure if he's a good fit for Baker Mayfield and Cleveland. I'm not sold on Baker Mayfield just yet. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how everything unfolds in the fall. So let me segue into Le'Veon Bell real fast. I believe Le'Veon Bell severely overplayed his value. Well, what do you mean? Well, he got less than he would have had he stayed in Pittsburgh. He bet on himself that he was going to save the mileage, he was going to save the hits, and he was going to get a monster contract the following year. So he gave up $14 million. He didn't get that $14 million back. The Steelers offered him a 5-year, $70 million deal, and he passed on it. The Jets offered him 4 years, roughly 53, and $35 million of it is guaranteed. So he's only guaranteed 35. It's only guaranteed 35. And he's not playing for a contender. And at the end of the day, tell me what you want. Le'Veon Bell sitting out a year did not help his value one bit. He's making less money now per year than he would have if he had just stayed in Pittsburgh. Less money. Overvalued. Overvalued his worth. Overvalued his value. Thought that saving his body for a year would, somebody was going to fork over the money. And the thing, it just doesn't work like that anymore. It just doesn't. And I know he's going to be paired up with Sam Darnold. Maybe having Le'Veon there will help take some of the pressure off Sam Darnold. But they're not contending for a title. They're not contending in that division. They're going to play the Patriots twice. They're not contending. And it's always been about the money for Le'Veon. It was always about the money. And now, if it's not about the money, then it's about contending. And in this case, he's not contending, and he's making less money. He shot himself in the foot. He didn't help himself. Yeah, maybe he can play an extra year. Whoopee. Whoopee. I don't care about that. I don't. You thought you were going to win big, and you came up small. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. Just definitely overplayed your value. Definitely overplayed your hand. And definitely you are not contending for championships in the near future. Especially not with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in that division. The Rant is presented by Anchor Collision Center on Warner Robins. Everybody has been in an accident, right? I know I have. And when I did, I needed to find the right place to ensure it was done right the first time. So I went to Anchor Collision Center on Warner Robins. One weekend, I was back on the road. He'll take care of everything. He'll even handle the insurance companies. They'll use words and phrases you don't understand. Well, Rick does, and he'll take the stress out of collision repair. Call Rick at 478-922-9090. 478-922-9090. 478-922-9090. You can contact the show on email, ghfsportsradio@gmail.com, on Twitter, at RadioGuy15, at Mr. Payton, at GHS Sports Radio, on Facebook, facebook.com/James Lassiter, facebook.com/Christopher Payton. You have been in the Rant on a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. I hope to see y'all back for my Motorsports Week wrap-up. And be sure to catch us out on YouTube as well. It's the Rant.